Hey everybody, welcome to Verified Investing. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. In today's video, we are going to do technical analysis on Solana. We're going to be focusing on the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame to get us a general forecast of the near term as well as the long term. So let's dive right into that chart here and take a look. This is the Solana daily chart. What we can see here is that Solana's had that nice run up in June where it went from about $125 to 206. We then had a big corrective move back to 156 before another move up, topping out at 210, and now a recent pullback. And basically what we're seeing here is essentially a double top here, which was pierced, right? But then notice again, it never closed above the red or green candles. So yes, it pierced that high, but you didn't get a daily close that was higher. So that to me tells me it's more of a double top in the near term versus a higher high, right? Technically, did price make a higher high? Yes, but again, it needs to really have a daily close above that. In addition, if we put a flat line here, take a look at what happens, right? So we draw that flat line, we drag that down to this recent low, and we bring this back. And what you see here is that it's very clear that price was hammering on resistance, pulled back, hammered on resistance, made a slightly higher high, pulled back, and then broke out. And look at how in the price action, it kind of, once it broke out, it stalled and kind of came back to kiss this line. That's called a retrace to the scene of the crime before another move up topped it out. Notice, by the way, on a technical analysis basis, see this candle right here, this big red one? Notice how it closed lower than the green. It engulfed essentially the whole entire green, closing lower. That was a bearish sign. So when you see that at the highs of charts happen, it usually means a pullback is coming. Certainly on Solana, we did see a pullback back down. Where did it go? Right back to this home base before rallying up. Same thing, we pierced, but we didn't close above, and now we're coming back in. So what does this tell us? Well, essentially it tells us that price is now in a channel. It's in a price range, essentially from 206 down to about 156. All right, so you're talking about a $50 range on Solana. And again, that's a pretty big range, right? But at the same time, it is relatively normal for Solana. Now, one other thing that I'm seeing on this chart is that we do want to take into account this trend line. So if you're talking about support and resistance lines within this kind of range of 206 to 156, you have a very clear level that if price were to come down here, you would want to see as a bull it hold here. If it could hold here, then it has a chance to springboard and actually break out to the upside. Okay, now if you break here, it will still be stuck within this price range going down here. But again, this wouldn't be as bullish to see it get all the way back down. Think about it like this. When you shoot a plane or you do a rocket ship, I mean it can come down a little, but you don't want it to crash back into the ground. If it can stay higher, then its next leg up can go higher. Essentially low, and you want a higher low. So essentially what I'm saying to you guys is monitor if Solana continues to pull back approximately the 168 to 170 level right in here and see if that holds. If that holds, I would remain slightly bullish on this chart of Solana. If it breaks, it stays neutral all the way down to 156. And if it breaks 156, bearish for a move back down into this level here at 126. All right. So again, right now, right in this range, it's in a slight bullish bias. All right. Yes, you're stuck within this bigger kind of high pivot here or this trend line down to here. But again, the idea is it made a slightly higher high. If it can make a higher low and hold this support, it should springboard and go higher. That's what you're going with for the time being. All right. So again, a buy would be really good down here with a tight stop on price. Okay, again, if it breaks down to here, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, but it would remain neutral. And if it breaks right here at 156, you're looking at a move down to 126 or so. Now, let's talk about the bigger time frames. Let's get our bearings, all right? If we go to our weekly chart, what we see here is there is kind of a bigger parallel at work, okay? So, number one, we have this area right here going back to 2023. which was really the beginning of the resurgence of Solana from the bear market. And what we could see here is that in general, we've pushed up high, pierced it, then came back in. Look at how it pierced it by a massive margin. But on the weekly chart, you never really got a close above that level. You got one close here. It never confirmed. So that tells me that on the bull case, okay, if we look at the bullish case for Solana, let's say on the daily chart that we were just talking about, it does hold that pullback level and it starts to break to new highs in the near term. If it does that and breaks out, you're looking at an upside target of around 285 to 290. What's interesting about that, folks, is that that would actually equate to a double top, right? So the idea is that, let's just say it takes a little bit of time, right? So you extend these out, and ultimately, let's say it chops up here, it does break out, probably over in this late November, December area, it gets up here, perfect double top and upsloping parallel channel. And that would give us a good basis if you're a bull on Solana of where price could go before it runs into major resistance. All right. So again, that's really what we're seeing here on Solana. I would say again, near term, it is slightly bullish, but it needs to hold that key level that we just discussed earlier in the video. And then on a longer term basis on this chart, it still is in an uptrend. So it still is net bullish as well. On the uptrend, the one thing you do not want to see is you do not, under no circumstance, want to see a break of this trend line to the downside. Interestingly enough, this trend line is right around that 120 to 126 level that on the daily chart was very, very important to hold as well. It happens to match up with this pivot low right here. Okay. All right, guys. So that is your deep dive into Solana. Overall, Solana, again, near term and long term. Near term is slightly bullish, not overwhelmingly, but slightly bullish. We have to see if it holds 156, excuse me. And then longer term, it is still in an uptrend. So it looks okay. Now, just keep in mind, this uptrend from 2023 coexists with the stock market moving up and going to all-time highs. Like it's almost identical. And so my only caveat here is just monitor the stock market. Obviously, we have our levels on Solana anyways, but again, you'd like to see the stock market continue to hold or go higher. You don't want to see big corrections in the stock market, as obviously risk off in the stock market tends to bleed into crypto. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Come visit us at verifiedinvesting.com. And don't forget, folks, to get swing trades on exact entries and exits in crypto, come join Smart Money Crypto. Again, that's at verifiedinvesting.com. I do 2 videos a week. I have multiple other traders that are doing videos every week and giving out trade alerts. I give out swing trades. Inside of that, there's a hodl service as well that's included. So if you want to hodl and look to get the percentage return essentially on some of these plays and build wealth that way, that's there as well. And we again I cover the top 50. My top pro trader, Ben Poole, he covers the bottom kind of 50 and below. So we cover it all. Swing trades, hodl, you name it, going long and going short. That's what we do here at Verified Investing, and it's all based on chart analysis. So thank you so much for tuning in, folks. I look forward to seeing you there. Have a good one. Take care.